You might think of summer as blockbuster season, but this month's spring sale is here to disagree. We've got Caped Crusaders and Flights of Fantasy coming out the wazoo with major discounts on some of Xbox's biggest and best titles.
Having just recently smashed their way onto Xbox Game Pass, Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy are now crashing the spring sale with a 50% discount. They're a pretty destructive bunch, to be perfectly honest. And wreaking havoc as Star-Lord himself has never been so much fun, thanks to the game's slick gunplay and clever team dynamic, which allows you to tag in another Guardian to do some real damage. Whether you're wrapping enemies up in Groot's roots or asking Rocket to pluck something out of his bottomless bag of tricks, teamwork really does make the dream work here. Which is really what the game's all about, telling a touching story about found family and allowing you to make key choices along the way which affect how each relationship pans out. Whatever way things go, it'll all look amazing on next-gen consoles with a ray tracing mode on the Xbox Series X and an uncapped frame rate option on the Series S.
But when it comes to superhero team-ups, they don't come much bigger than LEGO's Marvel Collection, which brings together the LEGO Avengers along with both LEGO superhero games. With the LEGO Star Wars Skywalker saga having just hit shelves, we're all in the mood for some brick-based fun. And the Marvel Collection is just jam-packed with Easter eggs, ridiculous gags, and little plastic secrets to be found. LEGO Avengers alone features over 200 playable characters, roping in everyone from the OG Avengers like Cap and Iron Man to some of the young bucks that are looking to inherit the mantle, like Miss Marvel and Hulkling. The Superheroes games then take things even further, throwing in hundreds of characters from across the Marvel universe, as well as beloved comic book kingpin Stan Lee. Pick it up now and he might just be in for his greatest cameo yet.
Don't worry, DC fans, they don't pick sides over at Xbox, so you'll also be able to get your Dark Knight on with Batman's Arkham Collection now 70% off. With the lavishly remastered Return to Arkham editions of the first two games, you'll get to witness both Arkham Asylum and Arkham City in all their glory. I mean, they're both still horrifying, noirish nightmares, but now they're really detailed, high-definition nightmares. Arkham Knight then kicks things up a gear by letting you loose across the whole of Gotham City, with more clues to be found, riddles to be solved, and asses to be kicked than ever before. Oh, don't worry about getting around town. The Batman remembered his car keys this time around. Whether you're a Caped Crusader fan who can't wait to track down all the obscure comic book references lurking in the shadows, or you just love a meaty, open-world action game, you won't go wrong with the Arkham Collection. You'll have the chance to return to the world's crimiest city later in the year when Gotham Knights arrive, so be sure to subscribe and ring the bell if you want Xbox On to act as your own personal bat signal.
Swapping capes for cloaks and muscles for magic, let's move on to the fantastical side of this year's spring sale, where you'll find both Fable 2 and Fable 3 are now half price. These iconic Xbox RPGs both set you down in the world of Albion, and ask what it is that you want to do there. You could become the hero of destiny, honing your skills and using your powers to help those in need. You could step over to the dark side and become the most terrible tyrant the land has ever seen. Or you could just bum it around the local taverns trying to woo strangers and getting into trouble. The possibilities are pretty boundless, and thanks to this series' bubbly cartoon world and cracking script, you're sure to have fun no matter what direction you head in. Xbox Game Pass members can also check out the full trilogy right now. This really is the perfect time to reacquaint yourself with Albion's local customs too, while with the brand new Fable game lurking somewhere out on the horizon.
Things take a darker turn now with Hellblade: Senua's Sacrifice, which is now 75% off. Also available on Xbox Game Pass, this awe-inspiring adventure will take you right down to the depths of the underworld in a desperate quest to save the soul of the one you love. Which is why you should never tell someone that you would go to hell and back for them unless it's definitely true. To make good on your quest, you'll need to battle all kinds of demonic entities to fight and clamber across all manner of terrifying terrain. Although it has to be said that the whole place looks hellishly good in 4K on the Xbox Series X. As well as being a blockbusting adventure, Hellblade is one of the most authentic explorations of mental illness that you'll find anywhere. So we can't wait to see what Ninja Theory have in store for the sequel when it arrives.
Much like the Fable games, The Witcher 3: The Wild Hunt drops you down into a sprawling fantasy realm and leaves you pretty much free to pick up your own adventure. But while Fable uses a morality meter to help you make clear decisions about whether you want to be good or evil, most of what goes down in the continent is as grey as Geralt's hair. While you're out hunting monsters to earn a living, you'll regularly find yourself in the middle of territorial disputes, love triangles, underground dealings, and all sorts of other weird and wonderful scenarios that'll force you to make a difficult choice. And here you were just trying to slay a few foglets so you could afford lunch. Often, you really are just trying to pick the lesser of two evils in this grim fantasy world, but getting to find out how each choice plays out is one of the things that makes The Witcher 3 such an endlessly fascinating game. And at 80% off, at least the right choice here is easy to see.
Finally, if you like your fantasy realms a little more heavily populated, then the Elder Scrolls Online Blackwood Collection is now 67% off, while Xbox Game Pass members can scoop up the base game at no extra cost. The Blackwood expansion itself makes the online world of Tamriel an even more interesting place to be, taking you over to the fiery Deadlands to go toe-to-toe with Daedric Prince Mehrunes Dagon. Fans of the Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion will remember him. Red guy, lots of hands, pointy horns, bit of a character. The Deadlands aren't the friendliest place to be though, which might be why Blackwood also adds in the ability to recruit your very own companion to adventure alongside you. Ideal for players who are still learning the ropes and those who appreciate the buddy system. This collection also includes all the previous chapters, so you can go questing through the Greymoor, Elsewhere, Somerset and Morrowind expansions as well. Wherever you wander though, you can do so in style on the Xbox Series X and S thanks to a tasty next-gen update that adds in a 60 FPS frame rate as well as a host of other visual upgrades.
Whether you're in the mood for swords and sorcery or spandex and supermen, this spring sale is here to rejuvenate your gaming collection. Let us know which of these deals you'll be pouncing on down in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe on your way out.
But there's just enough time left to talk about our sponsor for this week's video, Back 4 Blood, the adrenaline-pumping, undead slaughtering shooter which places you in the middle of a war between yourself and the Ridden, an ex-human lot who've been taken over by a parasite. Luckily, you're not alone, with a co-op story mode and competitive online multiplayer available to you, allowing you both to fight the Ridden and play as them. The Tunnels of Terror expansion is coming soon on the 12th of April, featuring new areas named Ridden Hives to go and bust, with new playable cleaners, exclusive skins for weapons and characters, and even new weapons altogether. We just know you'll be in for a bloody good time no matter what. You can pick it up on the Xbox Store or even on Xbox Game Pass.
Surviving's not enough. We've got to fight.
All of my best friends like to go and get fucked up, and they talk about all the lies they never got to live.
Let's go.